Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space and more birthday cards. My timing is correct, pretty sure. I already had a video go up not long before this one that had other birthday cards. And I said, lots of birthday cards. So, Waffle Flowers March 2025 release has gone live. It is perfection. It's super cute. I'll have a link to the release. Check it out. It's birthday themed. Cupcakes specifically, which is really fun. And there is a new Postage Collage stencil set. If you are new or just unaware, a few years ago, Waffle Flower came out with a Postage Collage Die set. And it just looks like this. This is the main one. In the time since this release, there has been many add-on stencil sets, die sets, other sizes, etc., etc. To keep everything sort of contained, I have and I continue to update a list. I'll have that below with just all the Waffle Flower Postage Collage collection. And then when there's new stuff, I add like a little asterisk and it's like new. So you can check out, if you click on the link for the list, it'll pop up in a new window and then it's visual so you can actually see. Because again, there's a lot. Because we've done there's been many seasons and themes and different things. So the newest one, birthday themed, and it's so cute. Of course, that was the first thing I used. I'm hoping I'm going to have another video, hopefully coming soon, using other elements from this release. I ran out of time. I'm trying to catch up. Anyway, I use the Postage Collage. And again, I have a playlist because I have done many videos using many of these add-ons. I'll link to that playlist at the end of this video so you can check it out because these, I don't know what it is. They're fun. They're super fun. So birthday cards, splatter, ribbon, all the fun things. So along with everything else, I will have links to everything I use to make these cards in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It is what helps pay the bills, keeps the channel going. Also, last little housekeeping, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my social media is always linked below my videos as well. And if you find the photo for the cards I made today, it's part of a giveaway. So that'll all be in their respective places. But yeah, all the info is always like below the video. And yeah, that's it for all the chattering. Let's get into making the cards. I went with Neenah Desert Storm cardstock this time as my base. And I die cut it with the OG Postage Collage die set. Did it twice, because as I tend to do, if I've got the space and the time, why not do more than one? And also because I had originally planned on cutting apart the second one and making more cards, but I ran out of time. But down the road is what it is. So I am going to use mostly Oxide inks with the exception of this white. This is white pigment ink. This is Altenew's Cloud9 pigment ink. And I'm going to pounce these inks, or Cloud White pigment ink. And I'm using my little, just picket fence pouncers to apply all this ink. I prefer using pouncers like this for like oxides, pigments, etc. versus my brushes. Normally I use my little Altenew blending brushes, but those brushes I keep dedicated to dye inks because you do not want to go back and forth with whether you're using blending brushes, sponges, anything like that between pigments and dyes, because you can take those pigments from your brushes and it'll start depositing onto your dye ink pads. Not fun. You can eventually wreck your ink pads doing that. So I keep separate tools for separate things. So, and I do especially with pigment inks. I've talked about this. Pigments and like metallics as well, because metallics are just, they're finicky inks to work with. I prefer something like the Pouncers because you just get better ink coverage. It's a little smoother because brushes tend to kind of swirl things around, you know? So, but again, each their own. I just wanted to use them for this because oxides and pigments show up better on darker cardstock. If I'd done all of this with dye inks, some of it would show up, but it would just be a different look. But like everything, it's just paper. So experiment with what you've got and see what happens. You never know. So I just work my way through all of these different stencils to build these little postage collage cupcakes. Like, it's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. So, the colors I used specifically, I used Mermaid Lagoon, Mowed Lawn, Festive Berries for that little strawberry, Mustard Seed, and Picked Raspberry. I'm going to get to the Picked Raspberry in a minute here. I just finished using the Mermaid Lagoon. The Picked Raspberry I'm going to use on this gift on the top left there, but because it's layering on top of the mustard seed, the pink and yellow together make orange. Totally fun. And then for the cake on the cupcakes, I used Vintage Photo for that. And then Picked Raspberry. Here we go. So adding that to the gift, and yeah, it'll turn a bit orange. I'm okay with that. So I just kind of worked my way around filling in all of these different little areas. And like everything, as it comes together, it's like, okay, this is just ridiculously cute. So cute. So the final stencil here just adds the final little elements. So I used ground espresso for like the chocolate. And I've mentioned this before. You can sort of see it here on camera, but all of these stencils, just like all the other ones, they do have like etching detail. So the lines for where you line things up, but they also have like waffle flour is really good for that. Adding like words into it. So it, like labeling different areas of your stencils, like this is the chocolate, this is this, or it'll say things like light, medium, dark, etc. I love that. I really love that because it just, those visual reminders right in front of my face. I need those. And I like having like, oh, okay, so you recommend this. And the thing is, it's like follow the recommendations the first time you use it. Why not? You know, get used to it. And then it's like, branch out a bit, experiment, do what you want because it's paper, you know. There's technically no rules. Or at the very least, you learn the rules and then you break them. That's how I roll. Anywho, after I was done adding all of these cute little cupcakes and streamers and candles and things, I took my white gel pen to add intentional highlights. I'm still going to add splatter, of course, but I went around and just added little dots and highlights to give these just that little extra something. So just worked my way around, added all of those little bits, and then one of my favorite, all of this is my favorite. It's all my favorite, but I've mentioned this before in these types of videos. I don't know why. I really like adding like the cancellation marks and whatnot. I don't know. It's fun being sort of intentionally messy because that's what I do with it. I don't keep these nice. Like I don't care. Because you know when cancellation marks are used in real life, they're not clean and pristine. It's just a cancellation mark. So there is a new little set for this. It's the PC birthday. So, and it's got a couple good sentiments in there too. I only used a couple stamps from that, and then I'm using the OG postage collage set to add like the denominations and the other cancellation marks and whatnot. And to do that, I'm using VersaFine Clair Fallen Leaves ink, and then I also use that white pigment ink to stamp just the forever denomination on that main sort of large cupcake there. And then I just work my way around, filling these in. Like I said, it's like making my own postage stamps. Wouldn't that be cool if we could actually do that in real life? Please don't. Don't try to actually use them. You know, that's kind of a no bueno. But it's just fun. I really enjoy it. So once I'm done filling all these in, of course I'm going to add splatter because that's just what I like to do. So stamped all the little prices and things like that. And then I'm going to stick these into my splat box and I'm going to add white splatter first. So just white gouache, stick a little bit of that on my palette. I will water this down a bit to thin it out so I can splatter this onto these panels. And then I go pretty heavy handed with this because why not? Why not? So splattered that on these panels and then I'm going to smush just the ground espresso oxide ink and mix it with the gouache. I'd actually wanted it to be much darker, but I've talked about this as well. When it comes to anything, if you're adding anything to white, whether it's white gouache, white pigment ink, etc., the white pigment is always going to make things lighter. So it's just something to keep in mind. So if I really wanted this to be a really, really dark brown, I most likely would have grabbed like my ground espresso distress ink re-inker, you know, like the darkest brown I've got, and use that, because the distressed oxide ink, the ground espresso, also has pigments in it, so it turns it a lighter color. That's fine. Like, I'm fine with it. But if you want it like really dark, you got to get a little more creative, and then you also have to keep in mind that it's going to water down your gouache, whatever you're using. So I was fine with it though. It just added just a like kind of a tanny colored, you know, a milk chocolate splatter. So did all my splattering, set those aside. And then for my sentiments, I'm using the new Sweet Birthday Sentiments set. I like the mix of fonts in this one. It's a good set. So I've got some dark chocolate cardstock, kind of fitting. And I use my anti-static powder tool on that. And then I stamped the sentiments with just clear embossing ink, and then rotated the cardstock, did it again. So I'm doing everything twice. Coated it with detail white embossing powder. I'm going to melt that with my heat tool. Once everything is smooth and melted, I'll take my microfiber cloth and just buff away all that excess anti-static powder. And then the coordinating die set, I'm going to use that to die cut the sentiment. And then I grabbed a piece of teal cardstock and I stamped. There's a couple of options. There's a From Me to You stamp. That's the one I used. But there's also a From All of Us. Again, I like having options, you know? It's always good. So I stamped just the From Me to You sentiment with that Fallen Leaves ink onto the teal cardstock, and there is a coordinating wafer die for that one as well. So, and die cut that, and then set those aside. And then grabbed another couple pieces of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock, and these were trimmed down a bit. I trimmed these to like 4 by 5 1/4. These are going to go on the inside of the cards. And I just wanted to add that large cupcake from the stencil set. And I was like, it's actually good that it's just shaped the way it is, you know, so I can just put it right on the side of the inside of the card here. So I still have plenty of space to write something. And I'm just going to pounce on the same inks I used for what will go on the card front. So I used the mustard seed, and then I used the white pigment ink for the icing. And then I'll use the Mermaid Lagoon for the candle, and then the picked raspberry to finish off the swirls on the icing. So fun. So fun. I love it. It's so cute. So just working my way back and forth on these panels to add this. And then once I've got the little cupcake stenciled onto the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp another sentiment from the Sweet Birthday Sentiment set. And I'm going to use that same Fallen Leaves ink. So I'm going to stamp that onto these panels with that ink. And my card base is the same teal cardstock that I used for the little sub-sentiment for the front of the card. So I could have stenciled all of this onto just the inside of the card, but this is a darker cardstock and it just makes it a little bit easier. So those were the inside little panels. And then I grabbed an oldie but goodie favorite. This is some May Arts ribbon. I have had this ribbon for eons, literally like 15 years. I don't even know. The sheer polka dot ribbon is some of the ribbon I never got rid of. Those that have watched me for many, many years know, I used to have an insane ribbon collection. I do sort of regret getting rid of a lot of my ribbons when I had to downsize like a decade ago. But I kept some, and specifically the sheer polka dot, because I have full rolls of this stuff. I have lifetime supplies of this ribbon now, just from those rolls. Anyway, I wrapped some of that around the postage collage panel, tied it in a bow, and then I adhered that to a slightly larger panel of that dark chocolate cardstock. And then, like I mentioned, the card base is teal, the same teal cardstock, and these are A2 cards, so 5.5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So got everything adhered onto their layers and whatnot. And then the sentiments I'm just going to pop into place with some thin foam squares, just to give those just a smidge of dimension. And then get those sentiments adhered into place. And then as my final little bit of embellishment, I'm using some waffle flower candy dots, which are self-adhesive. So I just peel these off with my little die pick and just press them into place. And the colors just went with everything, so why not? So I'm going to adhere these into place onto both of these cards. And yeah, that orange just worked. It wasn't originally, like I wasn't going to have orange in the panel. And then I was like, well, yellow and pink make orange, you know? And I was like, that works. It works. It's cute. Why not? So, and then I just used the orange enamel dots as well to just finish it all off. So those are my cards. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'll have links to all the things in the description box below. And then I'll have my Waffle Flower Postage Collage playlist. That'll be posted in the end screen at the very end of the video. So you can check that out if you are interested. As always, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton and I very much appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. I would love to have you. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!